All right, good evening, everybody. We are live, 9 o'clock Eastern on a Thursday night, TRC Uncensored. Welcome in, everybody. A lot of great stuff going on this week to talk about, but it's a special day, a special holiday today, and we're going to
Yep.
talk about that first. So before we get started, we're going to reach out to Guru, Mr. Manuel. Manuel, what do you got to say?
First of all, I want to say welcome everybody to the podcast. Just real quick, today is Juneteenth. A lot of people don't know about this holiday. I mean, I think it just became a federal holiday in some states. I know here in Kentucky, it was just voted in last year, and it became one today. Or this year was the first year it became a federal holiday. But it's basically just a holiday celebrated on June 19th that commemorated the end of slavery. The emancipated people that were slaved in the U.S. It was first celebrated in Texas. In around 1865. If you see me looking down, I made a little bit of notes.
That's awesome.
Can prepare a little bit. Just basically, slaves were freed after the end of the Civil War via the Emancipation Proclamation. A lot of people don't understand that they look at slavery, but it doesn't seem that long ago. Some people say around 400 years. I mean, really, it sounds like a lot, but it really if you think about it, it's some places you still have people that acknowledge it, but whatever affiliation you do politically or whatever, but Holocaust, slavery, I believe everybody should be treated equal. Just me personally. I don't know how everybody else feels, but slavery is real. Holocaust is real. People go through those things. I unfortunately never had anybody in my family go through it, but I'm sure people who watch this, listen to this, got family members who have. I just think it's a holiday that should be celebrated because unfortunately people did die during the slavery, and some people probably did have family members who were slaves or know people who were. I just feel like it's a holiday that not a lot of people know about, that people probably should educate themselves about. No matter how you feel, just something that if somebody asks you what you feel, at least you have a little bit of knowledge about it. But it's just a holiday that it isn't just a holiday where you get a free day off of work and holiday pay. It's a holiday that like some other holidays affect a lot of people more than we know.
Okay, very good. I like that. Anybody got any questions for Manuel or anything?
Nope.
No? Okay. All right. Good job, Manuel. Thank you. We're going to move forward now with our first roundtable question of the evening. Kev, if you could read out the question, I will start with you after that.
Yeah, give me just a second. Okay, we got roundtable. There it is. Your favorite Saturday night main event match ever?
Well, I thought it was a TV show first. All right. It's all good.
Oh, it is. My bad. I bet so. Okay, let's go back. Best TV show or movie featuring a wrestler? There we go.
It is. Yep, correct. Okay. Kev, favorite
Yes, sir.
movie or TV show featuring a wrestler of all time?
Well, of all time, it's easy for me and probably take everybody else's answer, but They Live with Roddy
I'd say
Piper.
everybody probably gonna have a lot of the same answers.
Okay. Very good. All right. I like that. Hey, that was a good one. Who was next? Is that Brian? It's on black
Yeah.
screen.
So I tried picking something
Right.
that was a little different. Yeah.
Okay.
So
We
I
got a
picked,
black screen. We can hear you, but we can't see
You
you.
can't see me?
No, we just got a black screen.
John
Yeah.
Cena, I can see you.
Yeah, I can see you.
see you.
Oh, okay. Anyway, I picked the show Heels. I don't know if any of you guys have seen it, but there's been cameo appearances by CM Punk. There's been cameo appearances by his wife AJ Lee, Mick Foley. It's a really good show. So I picked that one
Very good. I
Right.
like that.
for my pick.
Okay.
I have yet to watch that. I need
It's
to
really
start.
good.
Love it. It's a good show.
Now I can see Brian. He just appeared again. I don't know. Weird. My favorite out of all of them is a relatively new one. It only started a couple years ago, but I've seen I think every movie and show a wrestler's ever been in. And prior to a couple years ago, I would have said Lonesome Dove with Bret Hart. guest starring in it.
Oh.
But as of a couple years ago, my favorite is The Peacemaker with John Cena. To me, it's a hilarious show. It's an action show. It's comedy. It's got, a good mix of everything. And the second season is coming very soon to HBO Max, so definitely check that out. Ben, favorite movie or TV show with a wrestler?
Mine's off the wall. I love this movie. Actually has, well, technically a wrestler, then one that plays a wrestler in another movie. Mine was the Harley Davidson and the Marlboro Man. This had
Oh, nice.
Big John Studd in it. Of course, the main
Yep.
actors are Don Johnson and Mickey Rourke, which, of course, Mickey Rourke played the wrestler in that movie. But yeah, that's my favorite movie or TV show with the wrestler in it.
Okay, very good. Calvin Mania, what you got?
So I'm going. I want to say pre WCW days for Hulk Hogan with Thunder in Paradise.
Oh yeah, that was a
Okay.
great one too. I love that. Love it. Guru.
So I wrote down a couple, but I'm gonna pick the one probably nobody gonna think about. But Walker, Texas Ranger.
There
I
you go.
just thought about that one.
Hell yeah.
Sting played a couple episodes. Randy Savage,
Hulk Hogan.
Nice.
Hulk Hogan,
Very good.
Chuck Norris. I mean, that's all you need.
Chuck Norris. Chuck Norris. Chuck Norris was pretty much a wrestler himself. Hey, can nobody
Very
whoop Chuck
good. I
Norris'
like that.
ass though?
I heard one time that Chuck Norris actually seen John Cena.
I think he did see
Yeah.
John Cena.
If anybody did, it was him.
Exactly.
I heard when he does push-ups, he doesn't push himself up. He pushes the ground down.
I believe it.
Exactly.
Nice.
I believe it.
All right. G.I. Shane, what you got?
Well, for movie wise, I put The Longest Yard with Adam
That's
Sandler. They had all kinds of wrestlers in that movie. For show wise, I was a fan of Boy Meets World, and Vader on there, was cool.
Very good. Yeah.
And
I love that.
for extra credit, that
credit.
Baywatch episode that had Macho Man and Hulk Hogan in it.
Loved it.
You gotta mention that real quick.
Did you know that they actually filmed that episode during the Bash of the Beach 1995?
I did
Wow.
not know that.
I didn't
They
either.
did. They did. If you go back and watch it, they filmed it during the Bash of the Beach 1995 WCW. Yeah, very good. All right, King Phil.
I'm gonna go with the Water Boy because Captain Insano became a real character.
Awesome.
Yes, he did.
Yeah. They say Captain Insano shows no mercy.
No mercy.
That's right.
All right. He does.
I like it.
Yep.
That's a good one. All right, guys. Thank you for that. All right, we're going to go right on into roundtable number 2 and keep it right on track. So, Kev, favorite ever Saturday night main event match? It doesn't have to be a main event on that card, but a main event match that was your favorite.
Okay, I wrote this down. Okay. It was Sid and Hogan versus Taker and Flair. It was the match where pretty much solidified Sid's heel turn. And I think later on, Taker's a face turn, but Sid wouldn't tag, Hogan in. And Sid acted like he was going to hit Brutus, and everybody was freaking out. Vince McMahon was saying, "Don't you hit him." It's pretty awesome. But that's probably my favorite match, just because of the way, it was what it led up to.
Yeah, Taker's face turn was about 2 weeks later, I believe, when he
Okay.
turned on Jake. Jake. So yes, very, very close in time.
So it was leading up to, what it led up to, the both face turns and the heel turn, and it was leading up to the WrestleMania match.
Oh yeah, WrestleMania 8. Yep. All right, Brian.
I picked Jake Roberts versus Ricky the Dragon Steamboat when he DDT'd him on the concrete.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
that's a good one.
And then obviously put Damien all over him. So
and Jake
Let
will
me-
tell
let me
you.
ask-
if
Let me
you
ask you.
yes.
Let me ask you this, Brian. Was it hard to pick a match?
It was because literally, there's so many of them. Oh, go ahead.
For me, it was hard to pick a match because Saturday night's main event in some cases had better matches than even
Mhm.
pay-per-views did.
Right, I agree.
Like I'm not gonna lie, like I had to use Google because I mean, obviously, but I mean, watching some of these things, it's hard because you had so many great matches in this to pick. I mean, I don't think anyone can pick a wrong match.
I mean, that's the
I
match
agree.
that Jake
All right.
says that if anything that Ricky has wrong with him, it's Jake's fault.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Mine's a little later in time, but I think for me, my favorite overall would have to be Shawn Michaels beating the Bulldog for the Intercontinental title.
Oh, I forgot about that one. Yeah.
Only because during that time it was so unexpected because nobody knew what was going on behind the scenes with the Bulldog, and
Was
you
it just a few
really
weeks
thought
after he? Wasn't it a few weeks after he won it?
it was a couple months. It was a couple
Okay.
months later, but the thing is, like, you really believed they were pushing Bulldog so hard that you kind of thought he was going to be the next world champion at that point because they had just had that big battle royal over in Wembley, in one of the big halls over there, and they had had the main event in Wembley with Brett and Bulldog, where Bulldog won. So you really kind of had this feeling like Bulldog was being pushed to the world title, but instead of him being pushed to the world title, he drops the belt to Shawn and he disappears, and you don't
Mhm.
see him for about 2 years in
Right.
WWF. Now you saw him in WCW, but you didn't see him for about 2 years in WWF. So for me, that transition was such a shock that I had to make sure I threw that one out there. Ben, what do you got?
Mine is surprised no one picked it, which is good. Mine is from May of 1989. Hulk Hogan versus the Big Boss Man with Slick in a
Almost.
blue steel cage match. And
Oh
then
yeah,
you had your waiting at the ring. You had your very debut of Zeus.
yep.
Zeus waiting to come in, and that's when they promoted the No Holds Barred movie. Actually, it was a good match. Hogan and Big Boss Man, and then interference with Slick, and then Hogan prevails, wins, and actually that whole show was a good show. They had Brain Busters versus Demolition for the main event,
Right.
which
Yep.
was a good one too.
I almost picked that one.
So with the somewhat interference of Zeus in that match, with him there at the very beginning, that actually was to propel advertising for the movie No Holds Barred, and then of course it became advertising for SummerSlam '89. So that was a
Right.
really big deal. That little tiny moment in Saturday night's main event propelled so much going forward. Because after that, you didn't see Zeus again right away because they were building it up for the summer. So very good.
Well,
Calvin, what do you got?
hey, Will, I got a question for you real fast that has to do with the no holds barred because I remember when it comes out. Do you think no holds barred is more popular now than it was when it came out?
I don't think so because
Okay.
the popularity of the time with Hogan and the WWF was so big. I think it was probably more popular then. Now I think a lot of people our age look back on it and are very fond of it and maybe talk about it more now. But
Right.
also you didn't have social media then, so if you had social media then, it probably would have blown up a lot more. You would have seen a much bigger box office position for that movie if social media was alive back in '89.
Okay. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Calvin, what you got?
Mine was the same as being Hogan versus Boss Man in steel cage.
Yep, great match though. Great match. All right, Guru.
Mine is Mr. Perfect versus Tito Santana.
Great match.
Intercontinental Championship title match.
Yep. It was a great match. Very good. All right, G.I. Shane.
I wrote mine down and went with Warrior versus Andre when he defended his IC title, and Heenan interfered, causing a DQ loss for Andre the Giant.
Nice, very good. Very good. All right. I don't think anybody quite feuded with the Heenan family like Hogan and the Warrior did. I really don't. I don't think anybody quite feuded with them like they did.
Right.
King Phil.
I'm gonna go 1985. It would have been Junkyard Dog and Terry Funk. That was the first Junkyard Dog match I ever seen, so that's why I went with that one.
Wasn't that like the first Saturday Night main event match ever?
I believe so.
I think so,
It
yeah,
was.
because it was
It
the
was
first. It
one
was
of
first on
the.
the card for sure.
Yeah, I think it might have been the first one ever. Looking back on it, but we have to double check the facts on that. But I
I
know
got
it
you.
was extremely
I got it pulled up.
extremely early. So, all
Yeah,
right,
it was
great
early for
picks.
sure.
You know, and
All right,
Heenan would
so
tell you he loved feuding against Hogan because it meant that his guys were in the main event.
well, it meant more money for all of them.
Exactly.
You know, you would think that Heenan. I mean, he wasn't always a fan of Hogan, but you would think he truly hated him. But he loved working against them because he
Yes, he
knew
did.
they were going to make money. They were going to make money.
Yeah, and he
You
took
know.
up for him, because he said these people get mad because they didn't get to work with Hogan. You didn't get to work with Hogan because you couldn't make money with him.
Yeah. Yep. I agree. All right, very good. So we're going to roll right from that into our main event, I believe, right, Kev? Main topic.
Right. So yes, sir.
All right. So main topic, guys, is the Mount Rushmore of John Cena matches. So I know we discussed John Cena opponents and stuff. So if you can't think of the match and you want to talk about his opponents, that's fine. But we're basically looking for the top 4 John Cena matches of all time, in your opinion. So we're going to start with you, Kev. What do you got?
Okay, so I didn't do matches. I messed up. I done opponents. So I'll start there. My top 4 opponents for Cena are Umaga. I think they
Okay.
had great, fantastic matches.
Yep.
I went old school John Cena for this one with old school Carlito when he first debuted. That was they had a fantastic feud. I went with JBL because you got to start somewhere for the world title. That's where it started, and I ended it with Cody.
Okay.
Because you got to win the 17th, and that was from Cody. So when you're winning the 17th world title, he's got to be a great opponent.
All right, very good. Brian.
So I did opponents as well. So I must have misunderstood the question. But so I chose Randy Orton because obviously John Cena and Randy Orton have a history together, and usually when they're together they have great matches. I chose CM Punk as well. Obviously, the matches and the promos they had against each other were top notch. I chose Edge. Obviously, they had great matches as well. And then the last person I picked was Triple H.
Damn good picks.
Very good. Okay, so I did matches. I didn't do opponents. I did matches. So number 1 would be versus Shawn at WrestleMania 23, which I honestly thought Shawn should have won that. I mean, you could have definitely given it back to Cena, but I really thought that Shawn should have won that match at WrestleMania 23. Tremendous match. If you ever get the chance, go check it out. WrestleMania 26 against Batista, I thought was a tremendous matchup. Really, really good.
Right.
And then I would go forward. I love 28 against The Rock. I was there, but I would say match quality. I would say it would have to be WrestleMania 29 against The Rock because it was a much better quality match. 28 was really good, but 29 was just a better overall match. And then, of course, for the 4th one, the match against CM Punk, Money in the Bank, in 2011, I thought was phenomenal. So those would be my 4. Ben?
We're gonna have a lot of repeats. My number 1, 2011 Money in the Bank, CM Punk defeating Cena, taking the title from the company. That's my all-time favorite one with Cena and of course Punk. 2005 SummerSlam, Batista versus Cena. First time they ever fought in WWE. Of course, Batista winning that one. Then my third was uh, the debut of Cena against Kurt Angle. The ruthless aggression, the famous line, what's your attributes or characteristics? ruthless aggression, and then actually it was a good match. And then I'm stuck between these two because it's the same opponent, and I think one of his better feuds were with a guy I don't personally care for, JBL, and they had that I Quit match in 2005, which is a bloody one. But my probably that just barely put that out was the WrestleMania 21 match where Cena wins the undisputed title. Because back then I was a big Cena fan and enjoyed that time he dove in the crowd after he won, and those are probably my top four
Okay,
Cena
very
matches.
good. Calvin.
So I went Cena versus Shawn Michaels, WrestleMania 23. Cena Punk, Money in the Bank 2011. Any Cena versus Orton. And then Cena versus Brock Lesnar at Extreme Rules 2012, which
And
was
that was
right
a
after
great.
he lost to The Rock at WrestleMania.
That was such a great one too. I had a hard time not picking that one because it was so good. Remember, he puts the chain on his hand and hits him, and
Yep.
man, that was so good. Very,
Hey, real quick,
very good.
you
Pick.
know
I'm glad
what?
you mentioned. I'm glad somebody mentioned that one. I almost picked that one, but I put in there WrestleMania 26 against Batista. But that's a great one. Guru.
Real quick. Sorry, Manuel. I found this out today too, which was pretty wild. Who has the most wins against Cena?
CM
And
Punk.
it was Randy Orton. It had 22 wins against Cena, which was wow. All right, sorry, Manuel.
Just take my shine like it. No, I did a mixture. Was that allowed?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, not really a mixture, but I mean, this is not going to surprise anybody. My picks, really.
CM Punk.
You've been watching the pod long enough, and you know me. Number one is going to be CM Punk, just off the top. Just pay-per-view matches. John Cena hasn't beat CM Punk in a pay-per-view match.
At least not yet.
Yeah.
Just saying, he's not beat him in a pay-per-view match. So that's why he is, the voice of the voiceless, the Second City Saint. Just leave that out there.
He can stay quiet because he ain't never going to beat Cena in a pay-per-view match.
Hey, you never know. You never know about Trips' booking. You never know. Hell, they fired Archer.
Yep.
So second one, SummerSlam 2011, undisputed title win. CM Punk walked out, Money in the Bank. John Cena won the belt, the replica belt. A couple weeks later, they fought at SummerSlam. Cena beat him for the undisputed title. Obviously, Money in the Bank 2011. Cena quits.
Wait. Cena didn't beat him for the undisputed title. Punk beat him.
I said Punk.
Yeah, no, you said Cena.
You said Cena.
Maybe I just thought Cena should have won. Anyway.
Yeah, Punk won. Punk won because Alberto cashed in, right? Isn't that where Alberto cashed in?
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously, everyone's picked it. Money in the Bank 2011. He leaves the company when he wins the title. How can you not that match? I just watched the pay-per-view just for that match alone.
Right.
And then the next day, he shows pictures of it sitting in his fridge.
Yes.
Yeah.
Blows the picture of him blowing the kiss.
Right.
Yeah.
And then one probably everybody forgets about. Extreme Rules match, one night stand with RVD. If Cena wins, we riot match. Extreme Rules. Great match.
Great match.
I know it was labeled an ECW pay-per-view, but I was honestly surprised when RVD won that.
I mean, I just think that how could you not? I mean, it was ECW arena, one night stand.
Cena's, yeah, but did you ever think you would see RVD beat Cena and become champion? Like at that time, I didn't think that was going to happen.
I just thought at that point in time, the ECW guys, who else? It had to be him. If you're going to put on an ECW guy, why not?
Yeah.
Why not Rob? I mean, that's how I looked at it. I mean, I could have been wrong. I mean, I don't know who else is on that. I mean, you could have put it on somebody else.
If you're going to put it on ECW, RVD was the best one.
Yeah, I mean, RVD.
Yeah, I don't think it was wrong. I just think it was very unexpected. I don't think anybody really truly thought he was going to win that belt.
And he had a decent little run, though, right? I mean, RVD had a decent little title run. I just remember, John Cena throwing his shirt in the crowd and they threw it back.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. A couple times.
I literally think if he had won that match, they probably would have rushed the ring. I would truly believe. they would have rushed that ring.
Right.
Could
You know, I
be.
loved RVD's title runs, but you know, he got caught with marijuana and lost both titles within days.
Yeah, now they don't even test for it. So
Yeah.
you know,
Times have changed, though. Times have changed.
now he's gonna be a dad. Congratulations, Rob.
Change. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to Rob Van Dam.
You're gonna be a dad.
Did you know who the biggest? Did you know who the biggest advocate for marijuana was in the WWF?
Val Venus.
Nope. Bret
No,
Hart.
I knew this, but I can't.
Bret Hart.
Yeah.
Bret Hart advocated for marijuana for years in WWF because when they started testing for it, Bret told them that's a huge mistake because these guys they want to go smoke weed so they feel better and their body doesn't hurt, and then they go to the room and go to sleep. The other guys that aren't going to be able to smoke weed are going to start popping pills, and you're going to start having problems. And what happened? They all started popping painkillers and uppers and downers, and then half of them started dying. So if you read Bret Hart's book, he specifically talks about that, and that's been talked about by several other wrestlers too. That he constantly advocated for them to be able to use marijuana.
Hey, that's not true about everybody because after Kev smoked some weed, he got hungry for some cookies. He didn't fall asleep right away.
Yeah, it was only like an hour later though.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And he didn't pop any uppers or downers in the meantime either.
Nope.
No.
Just that Shane Green right there.
But that's true about Brad. I heard him say that in an interview.
Yeah, well, I've heard other wrestlers say it too, and
Awesome.
you know, I truly believe that. All right, GS Shane, what do you got?
I wrote down wrestlers as well. I wrote down CM Punk. I put down Bray Wyatt. I put down JBL, and I put down Kurt Angle.
Cool.
You know, Bray Wyatt's another one we didn't even mention, and they had a good feud too.
That
had a
Funhouse
great feud.
match he had was cool.
Well, even before that, if you remember back in 2014, Bray had like the lights go down in the arena, and he would have like the children singing. He's got the whole world in his hands, and all that stuff. So they had a great feud. That's a really good one. Nobody mentioned that. King Phil, what do you got?
I got the Bray. I like the Fiend. What's the match called?
Firefly Funhouse match.
Yeah,
Funhouse?
Firefly. Yep, the Funhouse match. That one. I got of course the Money in the Bank. That was just a really good feud, really good battle. The build up's crazy. The Extreme Rules, the 12, and the match with Brock. The I don't know which one it was though.
You know, also one that hadn't been said as a nice feud, but you know, is with Wade Barrett. They had quite a bit of a feud with the Nexus.
Yeah, the Nexus
Yeah,
was good.
yeah,
I agree. I agree. He had a lot of great feuds, man, for 20, 25 years or whatever it is, 23 years. He had a lot of great feuds and a lot of great stuff going on. Let me ask you this, though, as kind of a follow-up, and anybody can answer. What was a better match, the Undertaker and AJ in the Graveyard or Boneyard match, or the Firefly Funhouse with Cena and Bray?
Oh, Jesus
I'm
Christ!
gonna say Undertaker versus AJ Styles just because, man, that match was.
Cena and Bray.
Yeah, I mean,
Cena Bray.
Cena Bray.
Cena Bray.
What's up, Brad?
I'm gonna say
Cena Bray
AJ.
all day.
I like the
AJ
AJ Undertaker match
Undertaker.
just because it was at least a little bit more fighting. You know, as far as a match goes, but I did like the theatrics of the Funhouse match. I mean, it's really good, but as far as fighting,
So
like the AJ match.
I also think Cena Bray. So I think we're split right down the middle on that one, which is a good thing because it means they both had a pretty good impact. I will say for that happening and WrestleMania getting canceled and then not getting canceled and then going to the arena with no people and everything else, as fast as they put those two together, they both did a tremendous job because if you think about
Cordy!
how
Hey,
difficult
Jeff.
that was.
Sorry.
If you think about how difficult that was to put together in such a short time, it was tremendous. Like they probably had to put those video packages together in less than 48 hours, if even that. Because you got to remember, they canceled WrestleMania it was going to just be a cancel, and then they said, well, let's see what we can do over in the Performance Center. And then the next thing you know, they said WrestleMania is back on, but no audience. It was a
Have you
crazy
watched?
time.
Have you watched the AJ Styles the little 60 thing they do on Peacock?
I did. I did watch that.
Have you seen do you see where he talked about that match?
I saw where he talked about it. I also saw where Undertaker talked about it. And Undertaker's
Well,
brother passed away, and he had just short amount of time to prepare
I
and
know
get
that.
there.
Like
And
I think it may have been the shop, the talking shop with the Good Brothers, but they had AJ. It was either that or the Peacock one. But he talked about like they called him, like he was at home, and they called him, was like, hey, we need you. WrestleMania's back on, so he had to fly to the drive performance center, do whatever he had to do for the Boneyard match, come back, go back home. They filmed, like he said, like 4 days of content in like 10 hours. It was something
yeah,
crazy. They did
yep.
like 4 days and 10 hours. He said half the stuff
Well,
they
and
showed was, and he said it was.
yeah,
He said he's never seen anything like it, like take after take after
yeah.
take after take after take. And he said
And
Taker was there.
Undertaker had the same thing going on because he got a call. And correct me if I'm wrong. He got a call while he was there for the filming
Yeah,
that his brother died and had to fly out,
yeah.
and then ended up
Had to
coming
come back.
back and doing filming. Yeah,
AJ said it was like the craziest thing. Like they would film it, like the whole match. They would film it. Vince didn't like it. They'd refilm it. And
yeah,
finally Taker was like, this is the last take. Whatever happens, happens.
yeah.
He said it was there like 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning and getting back up and filming at 9. He said it was the worst thing he's ever done. He said it was great because you got to pick Taker's brain on the matches. He said, but after about 6 hours, Taker was like, man, let's just wrap it up, please.
Yeah, yeah. The one image that stands out in my mind from that match, above and beyond all, because there's a lot of good images, was AJ on the tractor and Undertaker just walks up behind them like a horror movie. If there's one image that stands out from that, really from that whole event, it's that image. And I don't think I'll ever forget that as far as a WrestleMania. And then, of course, with the whole Bray and Cena with the Firefly Funhouse, you think about Bray standing outside the blue cage as Husky Harris. Remember that?
Mhm.
Remember that part of it? He was Husky Harris, and he was standing outside the old blue cage, and it was trying to mimic back when Hogan and Beefcake were doing the no holds barred match with Zeus and Macho, and Bray's like pumping iron. Remember the whole thing? So, if you haven't watched it lately, first of all, I think I'm in agreement with this. I think we've agreed that's the worst WrestleMania of all time, but I would go back and just watch the Firefly Funhouse, and I would go back and watch that Undertaker AJ because it's definitely worth the watch.
Speaking of Bray, my favorite image of the whole is when Randy Orton set the house on fire and he's doing his little pose in front of the. I don't care what you say, if you can get that picture of great quality and you can see Randy, that's the picture that gets autographed. Just the image of the house burning in the background and he's doing the little.
Oh yeah.
I have that picture as a screensaver on my phone. Still.
I agree with you.
But I mean, I just thought that was a cool. That was a great rivalry, Randy and Bray. That was a great rivalry.
It was. Although, I will say with the Bray Randy thing, I was so disappointed that Bray won it at Elimination Chamber and lost it right away at WrestleMania 33. I was so disappointed that it was so fast. I think Randy should have had to chase him a lot longer. But other than that, I mean, great feud. All right, guys, it is time to roll right on into show and tell.
All right.
Kev, what do you got?
We'll go first here, me and Calvin. Let me go to my little screen here.
A little while ago, I saw a comment pop up. It was Richard Sutton popped in, said hello, and Brad Howitt popped in, said hello. What's up, guys? Welcome in.
Mrs. White showed in too.
Amanda, welcome in. Ooh, look at that.
There you go, Calvin.
Shout out to Will for that. Pictures don't do it justice.
Original art print of the 1994 Royal Rumble, still in the plastic. Look at that.
That's beautiful. I just got to leave it there a minute. That's beautiful.
That is.
That's what she said.
There we go.
And then I got that for a hell of a steal.
There you go, brother. I like that. I could see that. I could see that autograph right across the middle of the winged eagle on the packaging in the TRC.
Right.
In yellow.
Yellow? No, not on the against the gold.
Yes.
TRC
Yes.
No.
blue. Bring out that world
Yeah,
in the background.
but either one will look good. But that blue would pop like crazy.
Oh yeah.
The,
Yeah,
the yellow would get lost in that gold.
The yellow doesn't work for me, brother.
Me neither, brother.
Exactly.
And then there's one more, I think, right, Kev? Yeah.
There you go.
And shout out to
Oh,
Ben
yeah.
for that steal.
Yeah, those are awesome.
Rip it.
Wow.
No, we ain't ripping that.
He ain't got it.
Calvin. They know how we
That's
feel.
sick right there. I ain't never seen one of them.
Rip it.
We are not ripping that.
They know how we feel, Calvin, when you try to peer pressure us.
Now,
I'm not
also
home,
got
so I
the-
can't rip it anyway.
I've also got the one with that came with Cena in the orange and Triple H.
Yeah.
That was with the Castle Grayskull ring.
Yep. That's the one that
That's all
have,
I got.
too.
All right, cool deal. This is mine. So
There you go.
Tully Blanchard signed, Magnum TA signed, and you know that their I Quit match was, you know, just fucking outstanding. So I love that print. And I think it says Starcast 2 hosted by Tony Schiavone. I think he hosted a sit down with them.
Yep.
Pete Rose, Kane.
Oh yeah.
You came.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. It was either you or somebody else got that like the week before Pete Rose died.
Yeah, I think so.
I can't remember because one of them got lost, right? Somebody's got lost
Yeah.
in the mail or something, and then it finally came. It was like the
Yep.
week before he passed away. Was that not yours, Kev?
I think it was mine. Yeah, it got lost. It was.
Very nice.
That's gotta
Very
be.
nice.
And I haven't got it yet, but this is my purchase. It's mine.
Nice.
Oh yeah. Beautiful.
Look at that. That thing turned out
Beautiful.
gorgeous.
That's clean.
TRC blue, baby.
He
But,
is here.
but Kev actually was there when that got signed, and he's seen it in
Right.
person. That picture does not do it justice at all. That blue
No, I've seen it. I was jealous of it.
screams. It screams across the room at you. It
So
came
I
out
was so
great on
jealous that he got it signed, and I kept on eyeing it and everything. He put it up last night. There ain't no damn way anybody else was going to get that, or Tuesday night.
Yep.
I was fighting for that one. So look at that. That's beautiful.
Gorgeous. Gorgeous.
And that's all. I think that's all for me. But we leave this on here just a second because that's
Yeah.
I mean, so
Very nice.
if you look at that question on the magazine, that can ring true this month.
he's going to be
Correct.
champion for the rest of the year until his final match.
I don't know. I don't believe so.
Piss on CM Punk. He ain't going to win it.
I didn't say. I think Seth cashes in on him.
No, that would be
Might
stupid.
You might
Hey, I'm
take
just
that
giving-
belt with him
hey.
home.
Hey, that's not a prediction. That's a spoiler.
That's right.
Is it?
Just give him my 2 cents.
I hope. I don't know.
How many more days is it? What is it? Like another week?
Right?
It's not this week, right? It's next week.
I mean, just think. I mean, you never know because they fired Archer.
He's back. Well, Killings is back though. But they're having that match tomorrow night, which sucks. They got to have some kind of interference and not let it happen.
Isn't it? But the pay-per-view is not this
It's next
Saturday, right?
Saturday.
It's the following.
It-
following,
next
right?
Saturday.
It's next Saturday.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
Yeah, next Saturday.
Well, Brad
All
said,
right,
Goldberg beats Gunther and then Seth will come out and cash in on Goldberg.
Maybe.
That's not for the title, though, is it?
Yeah, it is.
I think it is. I don't think Goldberg would wrestle unless it's for the title.
Yeah, it's a title match.
I might be the only
Rip to
one in the
Gunther's
world.
career.
I might be the only one in the world that wants to see Goldberg win.
Oh, I don't care if he wins. I'd like to see him win. I just said that I don't think he'd wrestle if it wasn't for the title. I don't think they would bring him in.
All right, Brian, what you got? Mr. Howard?
Yep. 1 second. I gotta change
Okay.
my background here because you guys can't see.
He
Now
gone.
we can't see you.
Hey, John Cena.
Brad, I hope you're right. I like that ending. That would be a very fitting ending. I like that.
Can you
He
guys see
gone.
me now?
He gone.
Yeah.
Can't see you.
No, we see on the border chips.
Shit.
There's nothing wrong with on the board. There's nothing wrong with on the border chips.
Nope. I say I can too. Oh,
Well,
yeah.
there it
that's
is.
a
There we
push.
go. There we go. All right. So my first thing here, I got this from William. Sting.
Beautiful.
Red Sting right there on the bottom, right?
Man called Stung.
Old Stung.
And then
Hell yeah,
this next piece, William got this return for some reason because I'm assuming because of his backside. But guys, how many times do you get photos that you show it on the backside? Do you guys ever show
Never.
them like this? No. How about
Never.
this?
Gorgeous.
How about that? How about
beautiful.
that, brother?
I have one just like it
So
with inscription.
so thank you to whoever returned this. I got a hell of a deal on this. So thanks, William.
Hell yeah. Yeah, man.
And then this last piece, how many times do you guys see this, especially in this condition?
Beautiful.
Let me tell you something, brother. This is where you put some change in. A Hogan
There you
bank. Look at this thing. William, how old is this?
Now, 1990, so
91.
35 years? 91?
1991, yep.
So
Look at
so
that.
34 years. 34 years, close enough, right?
Yep.
34 years. And honestly, it looks like you just went into Toys R Us and picked it up off the shelf.
Pretty much.
Now,
Right.
correct me if I'm wrong. There was one on eBay for like 200 and something, and the box was shit. And there was
Right.
another one with a decent box that looked almost like that one for 1,500.
Yep.
Hell
And
yeah,
I got-
that's a
and
hell.
I got-
That's a
And I got this for a good deal. So
that's a hell of a pickup, and it's a beautiful piece of the collection.
and
Yeah.
the weirdest thing is no one else bid on it for me. So I got it.
Nope.
So thank y'all.
Oh yeah, very beautiful. Absolutely love it.
All right. Appreciate it.
Kevin, I found that in Dallas.
Right.
All right, it's my turn. So before I get to the ripping, I'll show you my first. Sorry about the glare, but 11 by 14. Already got her in the frame. Bret the Hitman Hart walking into Survivor Series '97. Inscribed 5-time WWE World Champion, or excuse me, WWF World Champion, not WWE. Excuse me. JSA certified in the frame. Beautiful spotlight, man. That's got to be one of my favorite all-time Bret photos that I have.
I love it.
If you watched on Tuesday, you saw I had the Elite version of this. Well, I also have the Ultimate version, so I let go of the Elite. So I need to open this Ultimate to get it on my shelf. So you know what's going to happen now.
Tear it some bitch apart.
Rip it.
Oh, you threw it. Throw it the other way. There you go.
Look at that. The bad guy.
Yeah, yo.
Greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time. I love it.
Hell yeah, he is.
Unless you ask the honky tonk man.
Hell yeah, no.
What?
It's just Razor. It's just Razor.
I said
Another
unless
one I've held on to. Yeah, unless you ask the honky tonk man, I
Oh,
agree.
yeah. If you ask him,
Another one I've held on to for a long time. It's been on the shelf, and I've been talking and I've been whining. Y'all know I've been whining about figures I need to open. So it's time to open this bad boy and get him on the display. As I've got my figures all set up behind me now, and we're going to go ahead and give us a little ripski there.
oh wow,
Get these out, and let's pour this out.
That's a beautiful
Okay.
set, by the way.
Look at that,
I
man.
know.
Beautiful box. It's almost a shame to crack this bad boy open, but you know what we got to do.
We
It's got to
gotta.
happen. It's got to happen. So, oh,
I
look,
think you.
look, even inside is gorgeous. Look,
Don't do it now. It's close enough. You don't have to do it no more. It looks good now. Don't.
Rip it.
look at that.
Wow.
Muhammad Ali, baby. All kinds of accessories in here too. I mean, accessories for the accessories, if you know what I mean. Look at
Yes,
that.
sir.
Accessories amongst accessories. Ooh, that's cool. Oh, there's a whole nother side, guys.
Man, I would have posed that like a book.
Look at that.
Oh,
Yep, that's awesome.
I love it. So was I wrong? Is this? Yeah, it's accessories. I thought it was. Big old box full of accessories. And I guess I don't have any more use for this now that I got the accessories out. I put that to the side. And guys, if you'll do me a favor, since we're short people, let me show you one more.
you're fine.
Only because I want to mess with Kev.
Oh, Lord. Oh, damn it.
Replica, not ring worn, replica.
Oh my.
Bret the Hitman Hart, signed,
Damn.
Put it
boot,
on.
all padded out, JSA certed, ready to go. Smells like fresh leather, beautiful. Look at that exact replica of Bret's boots. Like if you go back and you look at every one of his attires, all the way back to like '84, you're gonna see a boot that looks just like this. A lot of times his outfit would change, but his boots would not change. Very cool.
And y'all
And
and all y'all hear me
That's
say
fucking
clean.
awesome.
Put it
If that
on.
goes
Kev's
up,
already
clean.
Kev's already beating me up about that one.
I think you
Right.
should put it on. I think you should put it on.
I can't because see what happens. I don't know if you know this or not, but when you have boots, this all is flat, right? And this is all flat too. So a little secret, a little trick to get them to not be flat, you have to fill them. So I
Right.
had to fill it with like stuffing paper to fill it out to make it a full boot. Otherwise, this whole part right here would just be flapped over. So you can't wear it.
Damn, that's gonna look good on my shelf.
That's
Uh,
okay. I'll let you
for
get by
the-
this.
for today,
Is that
it's gonna look good.
Is
on
that
my
going to be
shelf.
for sale? Is that going to be up for sale, William?
I think it might go up on our next live and see, how we do with it. And if it doesn't
Wow.
go, then it's gonna go on our shelf.
If you
You
put it
know how
up,
we
it's
do
gonna
it.
go. It's gonna
You
go.
know it's
No.
gonna sell.
You know how we do it, though. I mean,
I'm gonna buy
I
it.
don't put a whole lot straight on the shelf. I usually give the opportunity to the live sale, and then if it doesn't sell, a lot of times it goes on the shelf or it gets ripped open. I've had this, Brian.
I know.
Didn't these come out?
I know.
Didn't these come out like 2 years ago?
It might
And
have been
I've
3
had
years. Because we bought those together. It might have
Yeah.
been 3 years ago.
And I've had this in the box forever, and I was like, you know what? I got to get these open. This is ridiculous.
Well, I'm telling you now, it's gonna sell. I'm gonna buy it.
That's all I got.
You
for
have
tonight.
one like that of Hogan.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't. I can get one. I can get one made, and I can get one signed, but I do not have one. But I do have Bray's original NXT ring worn boots.
Yeah, but they
Yeah,
ain't
but we
going
know you're
nowhere.
gonna get buried with those.
That's right. That's
We
right.
know that.
We already
That's
know
right.
that one.
I
That's
can't.
right.
I want those, but I can't get those. I can hope for a Brett.
That's right. All right, Ben, what do you got?
All right, I'm gonna be real quick. Hopefully you can see it. Got a couple
So-
VHS tapes.
So correction. Ben's like, I'm gonna be real quick because Will took so goddamn long.
I got a VHS tape. Got this at the last at the Bash and Beckley, Sergeant Slaughter, and then brand new sealed Superstars the music video.
Oh, I love it.
And
Ben, you remember when you and I got that same video signed by Tatanka? It had to be 4 or 5 years ago.
yep, time flies by. It just seems like yesterday. But yeah,
I love it.
yeah, and then last thing, Marin wanted me to show it. She got a Five Nights at Freddy calendar. There's Marin's
Nice.
face. And
Awesome.
that's all we have.
All right.
Very cool.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh,
Okay, we got Calvin, and so we got
All right,
Guru.
we saw Calvin's. All right, Guru.
All right, this I
Watching
got
wrestling again in the background.
It's TNA, baby. I got this bad boy.
Rip it.
Oh yeah.
4 letters, one
Rip it.
word.
Rip.
Rip it.
Right.
I just can't bring myself to do it.
Oh.
Do it. Do
Rips.
it.
I'm
You
out
can
of
buy
stand,
another one?
I'm out of stands, so I don't have no place.
I'll send you. I got an order here for you. I'll send you a stand.
There you go.
I got an order going out this weekend for you. I'll send you a stand.
Rips.
There you go, Manuel.
Do it. Do it. Look
Rip
right here.
it.
You can't
Three
see
letters,
me. What
one word.
You can't see me. What color you want? You want red, white, or black? I got 3 in my hand. Look.
I do white.
Look. What color you want, man? I got 3 right here. What color?
I'll take a white one.
I'm putting it in your package right now.
All right, so there he is, open.
Hold on, wait a second.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we gotta zoom back in on him.
He got the yeet glasses.
Dude, that figure's badass, dude.
It is.
Only waited 4 months to get it because it's on back order.
Oh yeah.
Well, that needed to be ripped.
And then speaking of
Manuel, you got a stand in your bag that has Solo and Diesel in it.
nice. And then speaking of Usos, I picked this bad boy up at a toy store.
Rip it.
Nice.
That's awesome.
that's cool.
It is.
I've been looking for this one. I got the other one. But I've been looking for this.
It's what, about 15 years old?
It is. It has a date on here somewhere. 2013.
Yep,
Well,
there you go. I was close.
You were.
So that's cool.
That's in good condition
like
too
that.
for being 12 years old.
I mean, yeah. I mean, all thing
It
it's got a little
is.
bit on the box, but I'm gonna
Yeah.
display them anyway. So
Rip
Oh
him.
yeah.
Yeah, you might as well rip it.
Rip it.
I wish I had the Harper and the Rowan in the back. You know.
Hold
And
on
that
a minute.
Harper and Rowan is
Well,
the
no.
one that came. The Harper and the Rowan is the one that came with the first rocking chair,
Right.
the NXT.
And then lastly, I had to get my boy Brock.
Rip it.
I don't want you to rip that one.
Yeah, I almost
Yeah, don't rip it.
The box is in decent shape. I almost don't want to. I'm gonna display him eventually, but for the night's sake, I'm not gonna rip him.
Well, that's a nice Brock Lesnar.
It is. I've never. I mean, I never hardly ever seen any Brocks.
It's
You
a
know,
nice
hardly
figure.
seen-
It's one of my faves.
That was the Miss Elizabeth line. That was one. That was in
Did
Miss,
you ever
Miss
see? Did you ever see that one Brock that's like eat, sleep, break the streak, repeat?
Yeah.
That was a sweet one too. That's from the same era as that one. Man, I love it. Very nice.
All right. Shane?
I got this from Amazon yesterday.
Oh, sweet.
One of the pre-orders that I ordered a while back ago. Heavy duty,
Very nice.
pretty fucking cool.
That's awesome.
So I took the original.
I'm always so jealous. I'm always
This
so
is the
jealous. I
original
don't even
one.
collect it.
Yeah, I pulled him off the wall. This is the one from the 80s,
Gotcha.
the original.
Damn. It's crazy how far they've come, huh?
Yeah. That's all I got.
Beautiful.
Just got that one. Thank you.
There you go.
King
Dang.
P, baby. You're on mute. Oh, there, no.
I got you. This nice John Cena here.
Oh,
Hell yeah.
beautiful.
Uh-oh.
Is that the one that moves when you? Yep.
Yeah, it's number 766 out of 2000.
I like that.
Man, that's
Pretty-
awesome, Cena.
It's definitely slick, though. It's definitely slick.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful.
And I love me some Cenas, and I have a lot of Cenas, and I wish that was mine.
One and done.
All right.
I think that's the one you got from Ben, right?
It is.
That's a sweet
You
one.
can only get this stuff from TRC. So
Oh
Yes, sir.
you know.
I agree with you there. All right, well, it looks like that's the end. So we will kind of conclude here real quick. We'll wrap. Guys, a couple things want to bring up real fast. Number one, JSA update. We'll have our updated date for JSA this coming Tuesday, and we'll know our date to get everything certified. We got a big stack this month, a lot of items. Another update. We were going to announce this later on, but I think we're
I
close enough
see.
now. We can go ahead and announce it. Ben and I are going to be running Sunday night at 8. We're going to do a different night this week, and I know we're excited about that. I will say, in my opinion, and I showed Kev this earlier. We were talking about it, way early in the day today, that I will have probably one of, if not the nicest Sergeant Slaughter autograph figures I've ever had in my life. I will
Beautiful.
have that this coming Sunday night. It is the only one of this figure I've ever seen in the wild, and it's signed and ready to go. So I'll have that on Sunday night. I know Ben will have some
They
great
just
items
send
as
that
well.
right to me.
Yeah, you may already have it, but I've never seen this
I
specific
bet you don't have
one.
it signed.
Only in pictures I've seen it, and it's signed and it's beautiful. So of course, when we do our previews later in the weekend, I'll put a preview up of it. But in my opinion, it's the nicest one I've ever had of Slaughter. So, but guys, as we conclude today, I would say, enjoy your weekend. Today is definitely a special day for a lot of folks, and it's all about being inclusive and being respectful. Everybody has something different in their life, and just because it may not directly affect you, doesn't mean that we shouldn't respect it for others. And I think that's really important. And I think that's where a lot of this world and, dare I even say, our country gets a lot of things wrong, is when we don't respect things that affect others. So I would strongly encourage you to, um, definitely learn, definitely spend some time listening to somebody and their viewpoints and how things affect them, before we jump to our own conclusions. The biggest thing that drives hatred is fear of the unknown. And a lot of people hate things that they don't understand. And I think a lot of that could be solved with simple conversations. So those are my words of wisdom as I
Amen.
as I lead us through our closing tonight. Whether you like them or not, I mean, you can always hit the mute button. But that's just my viewpoint, not necessarily the viewpoint of TRC, but it's my viewpoint. So other than that, we will see you guys Sunday night at 8 o'clock this week instead of Tuesday. And we're looking forward to seeing everybody. Have a great night, everybody.
All right. Thanks, guys.